Hello everyone, this is Pranay, Rajiv, and this is Nihit, Sachdeva, and we are going to take you through the Formula 1 season so far. So the season has reached the midway point with the French GP starting this weekend. As we all know, Max Verstappen leads Charles Leclerc by 38 points after last season's exciting finish. What do you feel about this season?
I think it's a refreshing rivalry between two young drivers. Like after the last season was sort of a changing of the guard thing, but this time it's new, and you wanted these young drivers to take over and compete. So it's really heartening to see, and the way they are fighting, the battles are pretty clean. There are very less collisions and very clean and confident racing from both the drivers.
So when the season started, Charles Leclerc was far ahead of Max Verstappen. He almost had a lead of 50 points at a point. But then Max bounced back. Now at a point, Max had a lead of 50 points. Right now the lead has come down to 38 after Charles win at Austria. So going into French GP, what is your predictions? What do you think is a possibility going to happen?
I think it's the both teams are on pretty even standpoint at this stage. I think Red Bull has a slight pace advantage, but then it also has had reliability issues. So you can't say anything. And like Charles has done pretty well in qualifying, but Max has done well in the races. So it's pretty hard to call at this stage, and it could also depend on what their fellow teammates do. Because we are at this point, I think, where the competition is pretty clear. It's going to be Verstappen and Leclerc only. So it will be an interesting battle to see how Perez and Sainz support their main teammates.
Now that you have mentioned the teammate aspect, so in Red Bull, so last season Perez was clearly the second choice racer. But this season he has stepped up a lot. He has caught up with his teammate, a much preferred teammate. And he has won the Monaco Grand Prix. That was a huge win for Sergio Perez and Mexico. So and he has become the most successful Mexican Formula 1 racer ever. And the same goes with Carlos Sainz. He also secured his first win. Both the racers are catching up with their team. Both the drivers are catching up with their teammates. So that looks interesting, right? That looks tasty in the longer run.
Yeah, the equation is pretty exciting. Perez has, like in the past also, has been asked to be the number two and let Verstappen go. But this season he has proved himself that if given the chance, he can prove himself and he can be better than Verstappen. And same is the case with Sainz. Sainz even, like, he disobeyed the team orders at the British GP to win the race. But then the DNF in Austria, I think, has pretty much ended his chances of winning the championship. So yeah, they have sort of given their teammates competition, but I think both the teams need to make a decision to tell both Perez and Sainz, look, we need to set this straight. If we want to win the drivers' championships, we need to support Verstappen and Leclerc, and we can't fight amongst each other.
Speaking of having no chance of winning the championship, Mercedes. Okay, so we have, from the heights of the last 8 to 9 seasons, Mercedes have come down. Lewis Hamilton's clearly struggling, and then we have George Russell doing spectacularly well in comparison to his more illustrious teammate. So what are your thoughts on Hamilton's slight downfall?
I think when everyone saw Mercedes in the pre-season testing, no one believed, but what Mercedes was saying was actually true. They were struggling with the porpoising issues, and it has turned out to be true throughout the first half of the season. They're not able to match up the pace. Even in the French GP qualifying, they couldn't match up the pace. They were, I think, quite half a second or a second behind the main two teams. So, and yeah, when George Russell replaced Valtteri Bottas at the start of the season, many people thought like it will be a master and apprentice kind of thing. But the way Russell has he's done well as compared to Hamilton in the first half of the season, it's quite impressive to see, and Mercedes would be sort of happy. Like, they made a good choice in picking Russell to replace Bottas. But Hamilton, being the 7-time champion he has redeemed himself in the last couple of races, and he has reduced the gap between himself and Russell to 19 points. But yeah, Mercedes's struggles are pretty huge, and I think they would be happy if they could somehow finish third in both the drivers or constructors championships.
Absolutely. After an exciting Formula One season in the last year, nobody expected another season to stand up to it. But here we are with 2 title races going head to head. So this is from Sportstar, and we'll be taking you through the second half of the season. For all the more updates, please follow us.